weight is in your face, Brian?
A lot.
You're tripping the light fantastic over here. This is the before picture for Brian.
We'll come back in 6 months and see how I did.
You'll never be on the show again.
We didn't even go yet.
You ruined the last one. I'm sure you'll monkey wrench this one. Heather, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks.
The long-awaited Heather Mama Rag stack.
Mariachi band going.
It's good stuff. It lulls you into a false sense of security.
Before you attack everybody.
Welcome to Big Words I Know by Heart, a program of rants, raves, faves, pet peeves, personal vendettas, celebrity interviews, and anything else we can fill the half hour with.
I'm sure it won't be difficult.
My guest today won ArtVoice's 2015 Best of Buffalo Award for Best Comic. She's the host of the all-female Ragtime podcast, sometimes. And she's on temporary hiatus as the host of the Comedy Open Mic on Mondays at the infamous Tudor Lounge.
Infamous.
Joining me in the co-host hot seat is Brian Bogucki.
Hi.
A man who co-piloted one of the worst podcast episodes I've ever recorded in 2011.
You're the one. You put me on the spot for that.
Heather Stack, you're here, we're here, I'm here. So wouldn't it be our pizza? Are you?
Okay, Mr. Ham.
Okay. Are you ready to roll through our questions?
Sure. I'm going to give you the worst podcast of 2016.
A funny thing happened on the way to the four-way stop? No? Okay, that was wrong. Have you changed your job description from stand-up comedian to mostly horizontal comedian?
Yeah, I should just put sloth. I'll be on the couch. If you've got any questions about anything that's been on Netflix, Hulu, HBO Now, Amazon Prime in the last 7 months, I'm your girl.
Mm-hmm. I like that original series on the streaming service. Have you watched that?
Which one? Let's narrow it down.
All of them.
I've got them all down, except House of Cards. I've got no time for that political crap.
That's good stuff. You get past the politics, there's some meat in there.
The breaking of the third wall by Spacey every 10 minutes.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I think Spacey should do the whole show in his Jimmy Stewart impression. It would be much more enjoyable.
A better show.
Heather?
Yes.
I'll just disregard what Brian said. You do not shy away from controversy on stage or off.
No.
Regarding the recent Disney World incident, are you on Team Alligator or Team Horrible Parenting Choices? And please describe your decision in 20 words or less.
I'm on Team Gorilla. I mean, you got to vote for the underdog.
We were talking before the show about how Disney is number 4 Hitler, and unfortunately they are going to have a big prize payout for that whole
alligator dinner.
Yeah, the alligator dinner thing.
I mean, if I went to Disney, I would bring my kid to the dinner with a princess. Mm-hmm. Probably before the dinner with the alligator from Captain Hook.
After close, no less.
Yeah. You want to know, seriously, with both of those instances, call CPS. Isn't that all you have to do?
Yeah.
Like, it just seems that simple. I feel like anybody who is ranting and raving on the internet, calling these people a bad parent, call CPS. Somebody will check it out. I know I had 6 CPS cases raising a rotten kid in my lifetime.
Who you love to death now.
I do. All unfounded. Every single one. And if you've met me, you know they should probably have been paying better attention. But they still left the kids with me and went home at the end of the day.
Brian, you look bloated and uncomfortable. Would you like to share and comment?
I am bloated and uncomfortable. I live in Buffalo. All I do is eat everything fried, covered in sugar.
With mayonnaise.
And refried. So
I really wish you could have burped when he called you bloated in the car.
It would have been amazing.
What's your input?
I have a friend whose mom burped in her face at a restaurant last week and said, "Don't say anything." Is that like rape? Like, that's bad. There's something really... She's going to be in therapy over that incident, I think. So we open with jokes about rape, and that's okay.
Was it
like
an accident, or was it... a shotgun, like,
yeah, when you
don't tell anybody.
Yeah, it was premeditated. Don't say anything.
How do you... It's like raping someone and screaming while you're doing it and then going, don't say anything.
Well,
there's no silent but deadly burp.
You fell down the stairs. You tell everybody at school you fell down the stairs.
That's what happened to me.
Now, you moved here from Long Beach in '94.
Yep.
Why in God's name would you do that?
I followed an idiot boy.
Same boy?
Well, we'll call him baby daddy number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I followed that one here. And then the rent was so cheap and the sports team sucked, so I thought I might as well stay.
The rent is not too damn high.
No. It's going up, though. I think it's doubled in the 20 years I've lived here.
Well,
Still a lot cheaper than living in Long Island in 1972.
Allentown's ridiculous, is it not?
It's where I am now. I mean, I have a pretty nice building that I live in. The landlord's pretty awesome. It's reasonable, but it's skyrocketing, gentrifying like crazy.
I don't know what that means. Does that mean the white people are coming in?
Yeah, it means the hipsters are coming in.
Oh, Christ. And no one wants them. No one wants the hipsters.
Yeah, I mean, they're not spending any money on the Shave of the Month Club, so
Their parents
Beard
don't want
oils.
them.
their parents don't want them.
The Trustafarians are going and the hipsters have moved in.
Yeah, I mean, I like living in Allentown because I don't get DUIs that way.
It's everywhere you want to be.
It literally is everywhere I want to be.
A long time ago, I was at the Pink, and I wandered down Mariner, and I smoked some of the devil's weed. I was doing the pot.
You were smoking the residue.
And then I got tossed out of the old Pink. So it takes a lot to get tossed out
For
of the old
smoking
Pink.
weed?
It's a long story that's not very interesting, so we're better moving on with
I
the question.
feel like that's got to be the greatest story ever told. Like forget about Moses. He got
Yes,
kicked
yeah.
out of the Pink.
And then I sat on the sidewalk in front of the bouncer and pouted, which I'm sure he really enjoyed. That I got my point across with my civil disobedience.
But did you have a steak sandwich while you were there?
I wish I did.
I
They
don't
do
know.
have a phenomenal steak
The
sandwich.
greatest, like you would never imagine that something like.
So good.
But then you look at the bathroom and you go, do I really want to eat here if I'm going to be staying for a while?
It could be made out of people, but who cares?
Dude, Soylent Green, and I'm in. It melts
Yes.
like butter when you eat it. It's fine.
The most dangerous game at the old Pink on Tuesdays.
Yeah, getting drunk and swallowing a steak sandwich. I had to give the Heimlich to a kid in the men's room there.
I swallowed a lot more at the old Pink after hours, and that's no good. This is the obvious question. How did the Mama Rag nickname get off the ground, and does it have anything to do with the special time in a woman's life
No.
when she bleeds for a week and doesn't die?
Ironically, no.
No?
No, not at all.
Is it a rag thing?
It is, but I have to explain it. There was a band called Whiskey Reverb. They broke up maybe a year ago or so.
You loved them.
I did. And they practiced in my basement twice a week, every week when they first started up until like 2-3 years after the band got going. Then they moved on to the one member of the band's basement. But the one kid in the band, there was a guy he didn't like, and he used to call him a C-Rag. He used to be like, oh, that fucking C-Rag. I can't stand that C-Rag. And then it became like, well, let's just call each other like H-Rag and D-Rag and G-Rag. And so everybody started getting rag names. But then initials started overlapping. So we had to make them a little more intricate. So those of us who were in like the upper echelon got... And I was the mama.
Man,
Nice.
it sounds like a gang.
We're the Rag family. There's a
Rag
song
Nation.
about it. Yeah.
Hashtag Rag Nation on your Twitters.
I didn't even know that it was a song by the band until I had the nickname for probably like a year.
Whiskey Reverb wasn't mixed up with those Dietz boys, was it?
What are Dietz boys?
I thought you knew the Dietz boys from the other bar days.
I know a Mike Dietz.
Oh, okay. Well, that kills that question later on. That's good. What's your end game doing stand-up? And do you think it's possible to achieve an upper middle poverty level salary telling jokes full-time in Buffalo?
Yeah, I think in Buffalo you could do that as long as I don't leave Buffalo. I could probably hit that level. My goal was to meet a lot of semi-attractive, slightly overweight or underweight gentlemen who are very dorky and have trouble dating women, and I think I've accomplished that.
Brian, you want to weigh in on that?
That
Target demographic.
Absolutely. That sounds perfect.
I was looking to meet that group of guys, and who knew? They're comedians.
That absolutely. Between that and video games,
Oh, they
I
like
think you're
those
going to
too.
settle everything you need.
Dan's pretty buff, though.
Oh, yeah,
Your
my-
man candy?
My husband's a beast. He's also a giant Star Wars geek and loves to play Dungeons and Dragons. So
That's okay. The tabletop, he gets the tabletop
yeah,
and the
yeah,
maps out.
he's not doing. It's the books, and they all smell like my basement.
It's so much easier when you're all jacked up and somebody calls you a weenie for playing Dungeons
Yeah.
and Dragons. You can just choke them.
No, he wouldn't even though. He would get into like a debate with you over. You don't even understand how great it is.
You don't know where my bag, how long I had to work to get my bag of holding.
You know,
Not even the hipsters have ruined D&D.
I don't even know if they know what D&D is.
No.
They probably it's something different for them, like Dos Equis and Devil's Weed or something.
Who knows what they're doing? They're sticking tampons in their buttholes, bro. I don't know why I have the camera on you.
Well,
Tampon.
I've done a lot of crazy things for a little bit of money.
Oh, he's got a beard and glasses too, which I think qualifies you.
But doesn't it have to be the whole?
I mean, you're not dressed like
These
a
are
lumberjack,
prescription.
so you're missing part.
These are prescription.
You're the closest to a hipster we've got in the room right now.
Are you doing a Duck Dynasty thing here? Do you use the beard oil?
No, I do not.
Do you manscape?
I do not.
Okay.
Oh, dear God.
Safe.
No, you got to manscape.
Who would be the more hipster, the guy with the goatee or with the mustache?
Mustache.
The
No,
flavor
That's
saver.
not hip for anyone.
No, that's like a porn stash.
The nose cozy.
The nose cozy. The flavor saver. It's the porn stash.
It's the dad stash.
There's a fine line between porn stash and dad stash.
Moving on then. Please to complete the sentence. Political correctness has affected stand-up comedy.
Oh, fuck that. That would be my response, I think, to that. Why are you creeping in?
I don't. Fuck that. You're not going there.
I can't deal with 2015 and 16 have been ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, you can't say anything without somebody accusing you. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, my pancake's burned. Are you calling me, like, names? Are you saying that it's... Everybody's insane.
I think a lot of people are getting into the, comedy used to be the last safe place you could go, and now you can't even really go there unless you're Louis C.K.,
Even he catches flack.
Right. So I don't understand. That was the last safe place where you could make fun of something without malice and just get away with it.
To me, I mean, part of why I like comedy, like why I got into it, why I was always funny even before I did comedy, was that I think once you can laugh at something, like it makes it better. Like that's, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So like I have a joke I tell about Adolf Hitler and Martin Luther King. Like in order to solve racism, you got to find similarities in people. So you take those two extremes. What could they have in common? They both had a dream.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
Dear God.
And to me, that's hilarious, but I've caught flack for telling that joke. If you wake up on a street,
I don't know
named
why
after either
anyone
one,
would be offended by that.
But they are. But to me, like, that's where you get to where once you're laughing at something, it starts to take the sting out of it. And if you can take the sting out of it, maybe you're less defensive about it. And once you're less defensive about it, then we can all kind of move on.
Well, I think I heard somewhere that RuPaul got in trouble for using the word tranny.
He is one.
Like, what the? Like, how?
What's the term now?
Caitlin?
Non-sexual entity?
Chosen sexual
Person,
entity?
I guess, maybe?
I can't keep up anymore.
No.
Moving on then. Hi, Tom Windsor. Have you ever had that not-so-fresh feeling in your hoo-ha compartment?
Well, I gave birth twice, so yeah.
How did you get through that difficult time in your life?
Massengill? I don't know. I have no...
Grandma's hot water bottle?
Find a guy with a healthy appetite and bad sense of smell, and he'll clean the whole thing up for you.
Brian, have you ever had that not-so-fresh feeling in your ass pipe?
Every day.
Every day?
What is
Especially
it?
after I'm on a podcast with you.
It's a shit pipe. I don't know that freshness is...
This one is for Brian. Brian,
Yes?
your contribution to the show today is palpable, and you're a valued member of the team.
Thank you. I appreciate the...
That's not the question. And shut up. You're no stranger to the Buffalo comedy scene. Would you describe yourself as a star fucker? I did the air quotes. I didn't have the camera on me. As a star fucker, would you say that you fling your seed to and fro, hither and yon, wherever it finds purchase?
Usually it's alone that I'm
alone.
flinging it around.
It's a loan?
I'm alone when I'm flinging it around.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like a loan, like a transaction.
In other words, if you take a black light to his room, don't...
It looks like a
response on
murder
the walls.
scene.
Yeah. So we got to get a sock, Brian.
No.
The love sock, yeah.
They crisp up after a while. You wind up getting chafe.
I taught my son that.
You don't want
trick
to wash it.
when
The
he was a
love
kid.
sock?
Yeah, well, because stop using my washcloths. Like, just keep it to your own stuff. Not the stuff that goes back in the community closet in our house.
The community washing machine.
I had a carpet as a child that has a history. I'm not going to lie.
It's still there.
I don't know. It can't be used.
God bless the kid that lives in that room now.
Have you ever been arrested and ticketed for littering and smoking the reefer?
No, I've been arrested for other horrible things. I once went to bail out my ex and my cousin, at which point I realized that I too had the same warrant that my then boyfriend had. So I walked in to bail him out, and they were like, "Oh, gotcha," and they arrested me too.
That's
And as
bullshit.
they're-
There should be rules for
As
that.
they're processing me, they go, "Do you still want to bail him out?" No,
I gotta bail myself out.
He's spending the night. Like, who are you releasing him to if I pay the bail right now?
That sounds like a job for Marscone's bail bonds.
It was the Amherst Police Department. God.
Oh.
Oh, they're usually napping out there. I'm surprised. Oh, you got them at the jail.
Yeah, I walked in.
Yeah. You did the Spacey in 7. Detective!
I think the Amherst police do pinkies out with their cups of coffee.
I believe they do.
Worst. I can't. I mean, Cheek to Vegas is pretty.
Cheek to Vegas is rough.
Too. Yeah. Like I said, that's why I live in Allentown. I don't want to drive through any of these cities.
I got my DWI in Cheek to Vegas.
So did 90% of the population of Buffalo. Most of us twice, and none of us can go to Canada.
Yeah, well, we don't want Canada anyways.
Well, if we run out of ice or maple syrup, I mean, they're there.
No, you can maple syrup you can get here.
I guess we go to Vermont.
Yeah.
Moving on to politics and world events. I just killed the momentum. Did you feel it?
Well, you brought up world events. I feel like I'm in like a high school social studies class.
Do you think Hillary's dick and balls will ruin the cut of her presidential pantsuits?
She doesn't have a dick and balls. I think it's amazing that a woman can make it that far without sucking dick. I think that's pretty impressive in this 20th, 21st century era that she has not sucked a dick since somebody else was sucking Bill's dick. And still...
That's true.
She's looking like she might be president of these United States.
We're fucked this year.
I can't stand it.
It's definitely a choice between two evils. There's not even a lesser of two evils. It's two
I'm going to get
evils.
the bumper sticker that says, "Don't blame me, I did vote for Bernie." Like, I literally did. I had a sign on my lawn.
I haven't decided how I'm going to vote. Like, do write-in or...
I'm going to vote for Trump. Because I'm going to get my fucking revolution. Like, one way or the other. Bernie promised me one, and that fell apart. I figure if I vote for Trump,
something will happen.
Something's going to go down. Either I'll be living inside a fence in downtown Buffalo, or there'll be zombies. I mean, something's going to happen.
I'm voting for Pedro because I want chimichangas in the lunchroom.
Well, he's got that super cool mustache like you, too.
Yeah.
Oh! That was dead on. So I have to just accept that. Would you like to compare notes on what drugs we've ingested?
I didn't bring my list. I mean, it's in a trunk at home. I drew a line once I had children, I think. Mm-hmm. I'd done smoking weed and sniffed heroin and done acid and done coke and done a whole array of things. And
you drew a line as to what you would tell people you did?
No, she did a line.
You did a line. You did an actual physical line.
No, I mean, once I had kids, my son once asked me, he's like, "Why'd you stop partying like that?" And I said, "You." And he's like, "Why me?" And I go, "Well, if I broke a leg and I was tripping on acid, it would be a really bad day. But if you broke a leg and I was tripping on acid, I'm going to end up in ECMC for the weekend. We can't have that." So
we don't bounce back anymore.
Like I said, the CPS case is totally unfounded.
Case file, that's what we'll call this episode, case file 31052. You have been engaged to your man, Dan, for 10 years.
7.
7, fair enough. Whereas my marriage failed miserably in dramatic fashion in less than 5. How do you two make it work together?
We don't get married.
Okay. It's one of those free-floating engagements?
Yeah, well, you know what? We intended, I think, to get married when we got engaged, and then we wanted the bigger wedding, and getting the money together for the bigger wedding is a pain in the ass. So then a couple of years went by, and we were like, oh, we didn't get it. And now we've been engaged for 7 years and together for 9, and I'm just like, 41 years old, screw it. If we do it now, we'll just get divorced in 3 years. It seems pointless at this point.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So, and plus, who wants the last name Kothan?
What is that? Is that Dutch? Pennsylvania
German.
Dutch?
Yeah, he's Amish. He's from Lancaster. He makes great jam.
And your furniture is unbelievable.
Oh my God, the woodwork.
Oh Jesus,
phenomenal. When I need a barn raised,
I've seen that done.
You have?
By the Amish. Yeah, my father-in-law, or he would be if I ever got married. He lives out in Bolivar, New York. They have like a lot of Amish people out that way.
That's where you have the land, right?
Yeah,
you got some land?
And we were driving there, and we passed literally an old-fashioned, like, I guess house building. It wasn't a barn. There was like 15 buggies parked out front, and they were all working on the house, and there was like a line of small children dressed exactly the same. We're like eating lunch, and my buddy was like, I want to grab my clipboard and jump out of the car and just start knocking off how they're not OSHA approved. Like, just... Nobody's wearing a harness. Nobody has a hard hat. This isn't right.
Down in Rushford, I've seen Amish people on rollerblades. Explain that.
They're not electronic. So I guess they're allowed.
That was a quick answer. I was not expecting
I
such
saw
a
one in
quick
a Burger
answer.
King once, and I took his photo.
One.
Yeah, he was.
I'm
alone
sure
in
that's
line.
political correct speak for Amish people now, too.
I saw one Amish guy.
Amish.
And Amish. It's and. Yeah, he was in Burger King staring up at the menu like, what's a burger? And I took his picture, and my husband was like freaking out. Fiance. I call him husband on habit. He was
Well, at least you took the picture and took his soul before
stole
Burger
his
King
soul.
could
Dude.
steal it with their food.
The Amish story of all Amish stories, just this St. Patrick's Day, because I live in Allentown. Everybody met at my house, and we were going to the parade. So we all get hammered, and we're walking over to the parade, and I see this Amish guy. And I mean, there's 1,000 drunk Buffalonians in the street, and one lonely Amish guy just walking. So, of course, I chase after him, yelling, "Yo, Yoder!" Yo, like I'm screaming it at him. And he turns around, and I go, "Can I take a selfie with you?" He goes, "No." So I go, "Well, why are you here?" It's St. Patrick's Day, biggest drinking day of the year in Buffalo.
They have a
Why are you
walkabout. They
here?
have a walkabout in their lives.
He was just trying to get to Walgreens.
What the fuck?
I'm thinking
a funny thing happened on the way to the Walgreens?
Yeah, I was thinking he was trying to fill a Valtrex prescription because I don't think there's a lot of condoms in the Amish community.
Don't you think like the Amish, like the outfit, like that's like what the hipsters are going to pick up on next, and you're just going to see a sea of.
There's no trends left. That's what it is. The trends, we've used them all.
If he shaves his
That's
mustache, he's
it.
already
You're
Amish.
there.
Like, yeah.
But they'll blend in, and you can't be like, you're a hipster. No, I'm Amish. That's racist, and it all goes away.
I mean, I don't see a hipster turning his own butter at any point.
That would take work. And
Yeah,
I don't know how to
that's
do
not
any
their
work.
thing.
We should round robin this question. What is your rationalization for episode 1? And do you think there's a chance that Han Solo survived the fall in episode 7?
Rationalization for episode 1.
Does anyone have one?
George Lucas was going through a divorce and needed some money, so he took a picture of whatever first shit came out of his asshole.
I don't have one.
Well, what's Dan's? I know Dan's. He was defending episode
Do you
1 when I
remember the
met
movie?
him.
Yeah, you remember the movie Fanboys? And there's the Seth Rogen character who got the Jar Jar tattoo.
He's gonna
before
be
the movie
awesome.
came out. That was Dan. I think he saw it at Man's Chinese Theater, like opening. Like
He just owned it.
yeah, but he hates Jar Jar.
Who doesn't?
But if he's turning an exit in his car, he's pod racing. We're driving, he's doing 60 in the roundabout. It's pod racing. And no, Han did not survive the fall.
I think Harrison Ford was dead before they put him on that bridge. I think they just kind of put a pole up behind him and put his finger out.
He's been draining
pushed him.
fluids from Ally McBeal for 15 years, for Christ's sakes.
Does she have any to give?
That's a really good question,
She's
too.
blow away in a strong breeze.
Like most Americans, you had a dream of owning your own business and financed a food truck.
Yeah,
Then the city of Buffalo impounded your truck for no reason.
yeah.
Is there a good joke in there somewhere?
No, I don't have a food truck anymore. Like, we got it back, and then we sold it, and we're just kind of done with it.
I saw the Kickstarter campaign yesterday. Did you at least cash in the Kickstarter?
Yeah, nobody's donated to that since I got it out of the
Like $565?
Yeah, I got the $560,
Oh, good,
and
good.
then I took it to use it to get it out of the imprint. But yeah, I mean, it sounded like a great idea until you realize, like, there's a lot of rules.
There's permits and...
I mean, beyond permits, they want you to have, like, an actual restaurant that you're preparing food in before. Like, what the hell do I buy a food truck for then?
What about the cheesy chick with the grilled cheese sandwiches? You tell
Apparently,
me she's
she's
got a
got to
kitchen.
have, yeah, like, some kind of a professional kitchen
Bullshit.
that she can prep food in.
That's
That's
good to
why
know.
Lloyd's had the place, like, on Elmwood, like, before they opened the new restaurant on Hurdle. They had that place on Elmwood, like, towards Allentown or whatever, West Side area. It's like their brick and mortar restaurant to prep in before the food goes on the truck.
So it's not even fresh.
It is,
Brian,
to an extent.
You can ask me any food questions you want.
you know food. What's your favorite food truck, Brian?
I don't eat off of them. I'm not a big fan of crowds. I don't want to stand in line for something I could go to a restaurant and get.
You'd rather sit at home and eat a canned ham and cry?
Absolutely.
My roommate's a huge fan of them. Like, he goes to Larkin.
Canned hams?
No, Larkin for the food truck. I mean, he might eat canned ham.
I more prefer the potted beef and a cracker.
Spam.
With mustard?
I don't like spam. Yeah, I can't get on the rodeo food truck thing. Like, if I see one and it's there, maybe I'll try it. But Larkin's just 6,000 people trying to get a taco. And I'm like, stakeouts down the street.
Buffalo, downtown Buffalo, I get the sense that it's like, people are like, oh, this was hip 10 years ago somewhere else. I better go check it out.
Yeah.
That's
Like, oh, California like tacos on a truck. We should do that now.
Right.
I don't like cabbage on my taco. No offense, Lloyd's.
They have a sauerkraut taco?
No, they just put cabbage instead of lettuce.
And this is not Lloyd's of London.
No. They also
Actually, it's not even Lloyd's. It's Lloyd Taco.
Lloyd Taco.
Lloyd Taco. There's not even an S.
I haven't even done ETS yet. I've been hearing about it for years.
ETS? My God, they've been here longer than I have.
I don't get downtown that often. I don't get out that often. For good reasons.
Children and a tie.
The tie. We come back to the tie. This one is for Brian. This is your only other question, Brian, so don't ruin it.
Okay.
Are you doing the litmus configuration?
Of course I'm doing the litmus configuration.
The Dietz question has been ruined because you don't know the Dietz boys.
Yeah, who are they?
They used to be all over that other place that you went to that was a bar that you won't talk about
Broadway
anymore.
Joe's?
Yes.
I can talk about Broadway Joe's.
Okay.
That's where I knew Mike Dietz. That's why I'm like, who are the Dietz boys?
Bunny the Bear? You don't know them?
Oh, I know they were the ones at the show the day the bar got shut down.
Yeah.
I know the guy on Shameless likes wearing their shirt, and I think he was wearing
really?
it. Yeah. Macy. William H. Macy, he was wearing a Bunny the Bear shirt on Shameless literally the week Broadway Joe's got shut down during the Bunny the Bear show.
Can you get behind Shameless, Brian?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, me and Tyrone.
I've heard really good things, but I haven't seen it.
You had Tyrone on. We love us some Shameless.
I had to tap out on it because everyone is morally bankrupt.
Well,
there's not
I think that's
one
why
protagonist.
Tyrone and I like it so much. We relate. Like, these are the people we grew up with.
So I know you're supposed to root for Fiona, but she's a horrible person too.
Oh, yeah. The end of last season.
What the hell just
no.
happened? Uh-oh. We're on the reboot. Okay, we're just going audio. It'll boot back up. I was pressing
All
too
right,
many
there we
buttons.
go.
Isn't that the same thing that happened on Seinfeld? They were all morally bankrupt pieces of garbage.
I thought you were referencing the Merv Griffin episode.
Yeah, but they had jobs, I guess.
Well, maybe that was
And George didn't. He was a buff.
In your podcast, we are running out of time, surprisingly. I've got another 15 pages of questions. You spent no less than 10 minutes on your podcast talking about tampons, spring-loaded tampons, and toxic shock. Have you ever had the crime scene sex, and did you lay a towel, tarp, or slip and slide down in preparation?
Well, I mean, if you walk into a girl's room and it looks like an episode of Dexter, you should probably have an idea that you're walking in on something. But no, I mean, I'm just gonna make him lay in the wet spot when we're done.
Brian, yay or nay?
Have I ever had
Chum in the water, yeah.
Chum in the
Chum in
As
the
a
water.
teenager?
Shark Week. As a teenager?
As a
Yeah, I think that's
teenager.
what happens.
Yeah.
Like, I think once you hit a certain age, you're like, oh, I got to wait 4 days. I think I can manage. You know what I mean? But when you're 18, 19 years old and your parents are gone for the night, we had a plan. We're going to go through with it.
You go to take a leak one time, and it's like HBO True Crime Undercover, and your pubic hair, it's over. It's over. It's horrifying. Where do you go from there? I have a tendency to abuse, mistreat, and harass my co-hosts, whereas you are nice to your co-host, Alyssa O'Balsey. That's her God-given name.
Alyssa O'Balsey.
How does that even work? Or do you two just go way back?
Actually, she's a little bit younger than me, and she just reminds me a lot of me. So when I was looking for somebody to co-host my podcast with, I was like, you know what, we're on the same page with a lot of stuff. She's also a bouncer, so I'm not going to try to piss her off in any way, shape, or form.
She can flip you for real?
I mean, I'm a pretty tough girl, but I wouldn't want to fight her.
You get bounced out of your own pod. Get out.
Yeah. I mean, I love old Ballsy. She's if you're at Mohawk and there's a girl at the door threatening your life if you don't have ID,
That's her.
that's her.
Good to
Tell
know.
her mama says hi.
Well, when are you returning to the podcast, and when will you retake the throne at Tudor?
Oh, Ballsy and I have been talking about getting the podcast up and running. She just moved, but I think she moved a little closer to where I live. So we're hoping that we can get it back going sometime in July and then bust a few of them out in a row rather than like the once a month or whatever that I usually do, just so we can play a little catch up.
Will you have quality control versus Jesse Winterhalter's show?
No. I mean, like,
I love
if
you,
you go
Jesse.
back and you listen to the Katie Lane episode, we spent 15 minutes talking about how 7 minutes is the perfect amount of time for sex.
You're right.
Yeah,
I did listen to that.
I'm not going to draw any lines because I like it a little free like that. You never know what you'll talk about. Like we had Grace Stumberg on. We talked about incense that smells terrible.
All of it.
Because, yeah, well, no, like genuinely, like smells like shit.
Oh, shit.
That way, when I smoke weed and you walk in my house and it smells like shit because I have shit burnt incense, you'll stop sniffing.
We got 9 seconds, guys.
Whoa.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Heather, thank you so much. What would you like to promote?